Forget any preconceived ideas you have about this badge. If you're in the market for a Super Mini, then the new Kia Rio should definitely be on your shortlist. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to explain why. Firstly, there's the eye-catching design. Kia's styling department are on fire at the moment, and the Rio is one of the smarter looking small cars on the market. Then there's the interior space. A long wheelbase means there's absolutely acres of knee room. I mean, look at that, that's impressive. And headroom's good as well. Plus, because the floor is almost completely flat, the poor fella who ends up getting the middle seat will still have somewhere to put their feet. The Rio is really spacious here in the front as well, and it doesn't matter if you're big or small, you'll be able to find your ideal driving position because there's plenty of adjustment in the steering wheel. And look at this, the driver's seat. There's lots of useful storage cubbies as well. Side door bins are large enough for big bottles. You've got a couple of useful cup holders down there. There's a big tray just under the heater controls, and there's a special area recessed to take your mobile phone, and it's even big enough to accommodate those large Android phones. Get a decent sized cubby under the armrest. Look, enough room for a big bag of crisps. It's all right, I may have had some, but there's only 97 calories in these, although maybe that's per individual bag. And the glove box, you can fit a rucksack in it. That reassuring thud is a sign that this car has been well screwed together, and that's something that's backed up by Kia's 7-year warranty. The interior design is much better than on the old Rio, and you even got some soft touch materials here on the dash, and some shiny knobs down here, which is nice. Equipment is generous across the range. All cars get USB input for your MP3 player, plus the 6 airbags and ESP anti-skid control to prevent you getting in an accident in the first place. If you do mostly driving in town, then really the Kia Rio is the only car you're ever actually going to need. Its compact dimensions make it easy to navigate through traffic and squeeze into tight parking spaces, while the controls are nice and light, which makes low speed manoeuvres a bit of a breeze. However, for most people, the Rio's biggest selling point will be its impressive range of economical engines. And the best one is a 1.1 litre diesel, which can return up to 88 miles per gallon. Now, you did just hear that correctly. You don't need to rewind the video. I did just say 88 miles per gallon. So then, the Rio is good in town, but let's face it, we kind of expected that, didn't we? How does it fare on a faster road? Well, you thought I was going to start talking about the negatives then, didn't you? But I'm not. I told you, just because this is a Kia, don't prejudge it. Because actually, at high speeds, it fares very well. The cabin is well insulated for noise. The ride, although firm, is still comfortable. And the handling's pretty good too. I mean, there's plenty of grip, and there's hardly any body roll in corners. I like the gear shift as well, because it's almost as sharp as on many sports cars. That said, the car still isn't as much fun as more zesty Super Minis, such as the Ford Fiesta, and the reason for that is that the steering, it's just way too vague. As for other problems, well, the engines are a little bit gutless, which means if you want to go fast in the Rio, you have to thrash it to within an inch of its life. Then there's the visibility, which isn't as good as you get in a VW Polo. For instance, the A-pillar is rather fat, which creates a bit of a blind spot when you're pulling out at junctions, and the rear window is a little bit on the small side. You're going to have to follow me to the boot to see the final problem. Now, it's by no means small. In fact, it's about as big as you're going to get on a Super Mini. The problem is the fact there's a massive lip to lift things over, which means you've got to watch your back when you're loading. And if you want to carry larger items, yes, of course, you can fold down the rear seats, but you get this huge ridge just there, look, so you can't actually slide big items right to the back. But come on, this is a cracking Super Mini. It looks smart, it's good value for money, it costs peanuts to run, it comes with a 7-year warranty. I mean, all that should be enough to convince you not to be a badge snob.